It's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. I feel good. Working hard each and every day, and I can't wait for 2026.
Yeah, like Floyd career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight, and that's what led him to be so.
Floyd Mayweather recently released an announcement regarding his prospective return to the ring in 2026 against Terence Crawford. Conversely, Coach Bernie clarified that he would support Floyd Mayweather in the event that a prime Terence Crawford were to face a prime Floyd Mayweather. He stated that Money May would demolish Crawford in the same manner as he did with other opponents, maintaining a defensive advantage by employing body strikes, hooks, and sharp jabs. He believed that Floyd's capacity to vanish after an opponent delivered a strike would be mentally taxing. Mayweather would commence to execute his combinations and assume complete control by the 6th or 7th round.
Floyd, just hypothetically speaking, just looking at, two fighters, you got Floyd and you got Crawford in their prime. Who you picking?
Can we all give an opinion on that?
Yeah, you want to?
Yeah, I got an opinion on that too.
Coach, what you think?
I'm listening to you, Rep.
Floyd versus a prime Mayweather. We can go Pretty Boy, we can go Money May versus Terence Crawford in his prime. Who we got?
I think Money May would have shut Crawford down. He would have bored him to sleep like he do these fighters.
Yeah.
He would have jabbed him, hooked him, sticking him in the body. You know what I'm saying? And then when the fighters swing back, Floyd nowhere to be found. So mentally, that drained him.
Yeah.
And about the 6th or 7th round, that's when you start picking up, putting the combination together.
Floyd Mayweather has disclosed that negotiations are currently ongoing for a potential comeback fight in 2026, with Terence Crawford emerging as a potential opponent. Nevertheless, he has expressed his willingness to return.
Any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
It's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. I feel good. Working hard each and every day, and I can't wait for 2026.
Furthermore, Terence Crawford contemplated Floyd Mayweather's career, asserting that Floyd's success was a direct result of the era in which he was raised, which afforded him the opportunity to confront and defeat a multitude of champions. He observed that Mayweather not only defeated the most champions, but also earned the most money in the process, which solidified his legacy.
Looking back at like Floyd career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight, and that's what led him to be so great, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy, back to back to fight, one after one.
In addition, Alexander Usyk declared Terence Crawford to be the most exceptional boxer in the world at present, asserting that Crawford occupies the top position, surpassing even himself.
Who's the best boxer, in your opinion, right now?
European.
No, the world. Best fighter.
World.
The world, yeah.
I think it's Terence Crawford.
Many believe it's you. Many believe you're the best fighter.
No, I'm not the best fighter of the world. It's Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford, number one, yeah?
Yeah.
Terence Crawford himself did not hesitate to address the debate regarding his prime and that of Mayweather. Crawford declared with complete assurance that he would defeat Floyd at his zenith, and he said it with conviction rather than uncertainty. Mayweather was a maestro of defense and ring IQ. He clarified, but he is of the opinion that his own skill set is superior. Crawford emphasized his confidence in his reflexes, his capacity to seamlessly transition between postures, and his ability to identify opponents over time, all of which would provide him with an advantage over Floyd. His statement demonstrated that he is not intimidated by the mystique of Mayweather's legacy, but rather is confident that his own peak performance would surpass the most exceptional version of Floyd.
You think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, no.
Timothy Bradley expressed his unwavering support for that assessment, asserting that Crawford would have prevailed over Mayweather had they engaged in a fight during their primes. Bradley detailed the rationale, emphasizing Crawford's versatility in terms of his arsenal, his capacity to transition between orthodox and southpaw, and his lethal accuracy. He emphasized that Mayweather has consistently encountered challenges with sharp counterpunchers, citing previous bouts in which Floyd was required to react to southpaws or quick hitters. Bradley contended that Crawford possesses the versatility to maintain Floyd's attention throughout the evening, in addition to his counterpunching capabilities. He believed that Crawford's aggressiveness, size, and ability to alter stances would be too much for even a top-tier Mayweather.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But Terrence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terrence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that backhand, the way he reaches with that.
Shane Mosley, who actually shared the ring with Floyd Mayweather, provided an additional persuasive argument in Crawford's favor. Mosley stated unequivocally that Crawford is the superior combatant in terms of raw ability and skills, not only in a head-to-head matchup. He identified Crawford's size as a significant factor, observing that Crawford possesses power and strength that Mayweather lacked at the heavier weights. He also commended Crawford's adaptability, stating that he is capable of boxing on the outside, brawling on the inside, pressing forward, or counterpunching, rendering him one of the most comprehensive fighters in the sport. Mosley asserts that the combination of all of these characteristics would render it exceedingly challenging for Mayweather to subdue him at his most powerful.
Who think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
The discussion was approached with a more nuanced perspective by Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and trainer, who recalled Floyd's iconic fight against a juvenile Canelo Alvarez. Jeff conceded that the fight was a demonstration of Canelo's early potential rather than sheer domination, despite Floyd's convincing victory on the scorecards. He elucidated that Canelo was a youthful fighter who was still in the process of learning and developing as a fighter, whereas Floyd was already at the pinnacle of his experience and ring generalship. Jeff believed that the fight not only demonstrated Floyd's capabilities, but also underscored the significance of timing in the sport of boxing, as Floyd was able to capitalize on his opportunity to face Canelo prior to reaching his peak.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. Yeah, nobody had it. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23? 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game.
Jeff Mayweather also emphasized that a fighter's prime typically occurs in their 20s, when their physical strength, reflexes, and speed are all at their pinnacle. This provided additional context. He observed that Floyd's victory over Canelo occurred at the age of 36, which is beyond the threshold at which the majority of combatants achieve their peak performance. He believed that the fight was not about Floyd's physical dominance, but rather about his intellect, experience, and timing in the ring. This complicates any discourse regarding prime versus prime, as it is contingent upon the precise date at which a fighter's actual prime is determined, as well as the extent to which age and timing impacted the matchups.
Yeah, very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost. Yeah, but man, that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
how you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
Want to
make himself look like he did something great.
Trainer Bradman Edwards offered a more nuanced viewpoint, asserting that a confrontation between Mayweather and Crawford would have been razor-thin, with both fighters possessing plausible avenues to victory. However, he underscored the importance of concentrating on the present, encouraging fans to allow Crawford to savor his moment rather than perpetually contrasting him with the legends of the past. Edwards criticized the manner in which fighters such as Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. occasionally conduct themselves in public, asserting that they frequently set a poor example by competing with or tearing down the next generation instead of elevating them. He contended that boxing should honor its present champions while also honoring its history, rather than establishing unwarranted divisions between eras.
I don't know. It's a close fight. You know, it's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, and I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing, like, and make up something just to, I got my opinion on, you know, how the fights would go, and, you know, but I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And, you know, unfortunately, they didn't fight. You know, they could have made, they kind of two different eras, though, even though they was fighting at the same time. Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just live with it. You know what I mean?
Finally, Showbiz the Adult made a bold statement by asserting that Crawford may be a superior fighter than Mayweather when career choices are taken into account. Crawford's decision to confront a dangerous top-level super, middleweight, and move up 3 weight classes was cited by him as an example of an action that Mayweather would never have taken. Crawford's fearlessness, his desire to challenge himself against the best, and his willingness to venture beyond his comfort zone were all demonstrated by that singular decision. According to him, Showbiz contended that Crawford's propensity to take risks renders him the more daring and potentially even greater fighter when evaluating legacy through ambition. Despite the fact that Floyd built his career with precision and brilliance,
why is Terrence Bud Crawford greater than Floyd Mayweather? Or better than Floyd Mayweather? Greater is a little bit different. Greater is impact, resume, all that shit, but better. Terrence Bud Crawford, after what he did last night, is better than Floyd Mayweather because there is no way Floyd Mayweather would attempt to do that crazy shit. See, that's the insane Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler after being gone for 5 years type shit. Never being at middleweight, first fight at middleweight, being against Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Terrence Bud Crawford never been a middleweight. The most he's been is super welterweight, and he was only there once. And he's fighting at 168 against one of the greatest super middleweights of all time, one of the greatest middleweights of all time, pound for pound, one of the greatest fighters of all time, reigning undisputed champion at super middleweight. That is unheard of, and that's something that Floyd Mayweather wouldn't even.
Max Kellerman underscored that Floyd Mayweather's resume is among the most impressive in the history of boxing, featuring champions and prominent figures in various weight classes. Nevertheless, he emphasized that Terrence Crawford is distinguished by his willingness to confront any opponent, a trait that Mayweather frequently averted by employing calculated decisions and timing.
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference.
Bob Arum, who has collaborated with both combatants, stated that Crawford would be his selection in a prime for prime matchup. He clarified that Crawford's adaptability and capacity to swap stances provide him with a unique advantage, enabling him to adapt to any situation that Mayweather may present. Arum is of the opinion that Crawford's combination of ring IQ and abilities would result in a victory.
Prime, who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather? Prime for prime.
Crawford.
Really? Why? Just
Because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen. And the ability that he has to switch, you know, fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. And, you know, I just think Crawford is a very, very unique.
Jim Lampley observed that a Crawford-Mayweather fight would be captivating due to the contrast in styles. He referred to Mayweather's victories as paint jobs, which were technical and controlled performances that were based on precision and defense. In contrast, Crawford's ability to deconstruct his opponents and frequently concludes them decisively fosters more acute sense of authority. He stated that this contrast is what would render a prime for prime clash so captivating.
That's a completely different fight. All right, because Spence has been given to believe that he's every bit as good an offensive fighter as Terence Crawford or anybody else that he's going to be in with. So he learned something different Saturday night. But Floyd Mayweather never disabused himself of the understanding that he was a more of a backup counterpuncher than a go-forward counterpuncher, regardless of what he did to Diego Corrales, and that's a different kind of approach and effect than what Crawford achieved the other night. So that a Floyd Mayweather beatdown or one-sided win was much more of a paint job than what Crawford put.
Sean Porter described Terence Crawford as a chess master in the ring, highlighting his strategic mindset, capacity to mentally exhaust opponents, and mid-fight adjustments. Additionally, he held Floyd Mayweather in high regard as the definitive OG of boxing, acknowledging that he established a standard for dominance, distance control, and longevity that ensures his legacy remains secure, irrespective of Crawford's success.
A lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
yes,
fight.
Yes, sir. I love you, Terence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah, he's a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in that
situation is crazy. The funny thing about it is Terence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else? Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
got a pioneer, right? Yeah, you gotta.
There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere. And I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure.
That concludes today's video. Therefore, what are your opinions on this matter? What are your thoughts on the comparison between Floyd and Crawford? Please share your views in the comment section, and be sure to subscribe and like the video if you found it enjoyable. Additionally, please observe our other videos located on the right-hand side of the screen.